Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, I want to answer some of your questions. You guys have been saying that you have been seeing a lot of times in your car that Donald Trump has died. He may have undergone procedures, that there has been indications in your cars, your pendulum, your Magic Ball 8, and all these different things that you guys use. All of you guys have consistently talked about it, and for sure in your own reading, that Donald Trump has died and it came back to life. This is kind of, I don't know what to say to this because it is a little bit different. It is something that is, how would I say this? It's very hard to explain in a way because we don't really understand the full context. Because in the readings that I've done in the past since May, it talked about how Donald Trump was going to be replaced with a younger version of himself. Right? But younger in terms of him, being a lot younger, but it's an older picture. So for example, a picture or a video of him. Let me just read it to you. Because it's harder to explain. But we're going to try to break it down and see if maybe in this video you might be able to get some clarity. Did Donald Trump die and get resurrected? That's essentially what we're asking in today's video. But in the next video, I'm going to ask about Hitler and whether or not Donald Trump summoned Hitler using black magic. And you're probably asking, Chris, why are you even talking about this? What's the purpose of this? It's because consistently over the years, when I have done my tarot card readings and stuff like that, I have gotten Donald Trump been using black magic. Since 2020, I knew this. That somehow Donald Trump does not read books, but very well is well informed about how to do things, how to take over a country or a nation, using the same tactic that Hitler did. Now, remember one thing about history. History has been altered by the winners. History is not rooted in facts in any way. We've seen this today. Look at what's going on now with January 6th. We cannot say history is written with fairness, with honesty, with truth. So how did Donald Trump replicate Hitler so well? And then I was talking to one of my subscribers last night, and they were like, well, this is what I'm getting. And as I'm reading their comments, I'm like, I'm trying to understand why, what is going on? And all of a sudden, an actual letter, Y came out of my mouth. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it got there. But a letter Y came right out of my mouth into the sink. Obviously, I took a picture of it. I'll show you a picture just to show you proof. This is posted in the community page, by the way, in case you want to go ahead and check that out. But it is very small. But you can kind of see there's a Y, right? You see that it's tiny, like it's literally tiny. But this came out of my mouth. And then I go into my room because I'm like thinking like maybe how could he die? Because it's asking me to question his death. It's asking us the question because we have some of the context from the video that just posted, but we don't have the full story. There's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. And a lot of you guys agree with me in the comment section. But then as I was thinking, I was going to my room and the number on my alarm clock came up as 2:37. But I would ask myself, like, I remember the portal, the mirrors being a portal, right? And I kept saying, did Donald Trump maybe didn't conjure Hitler through the physical realm, but maybe conjured him through the mirror? And all of a sudden it said RES. The reversal of, the reversal of the word 237. And that's going to be, we're talking about Donald Trump possibly being resurrected today in today's video. Then in the next video, we're going to talk about Hitler, Donald Trump, black magic. We're going to go a little bit more deeper. We're going to talk about my dream that I had years ago in 2021 that was posted. I will put the link to that video in the description below if you want to get a head start, kind of get yourself a little bit more familiarized. But Donald Trump did do black magic. There is no other way around it. It has been very consistent over the past 5 years. It has not changed. Donald Trump has done black magic. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can say that's changed that. It's the truth. And so this video is just for entertainment and for educational purposes only as well. This video is being recorded on Thursday, September 4th at 3:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as of when I'm recording this specific video. If you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the content, sharing this video with others. Really help boost the algorithm here on our YouTube channel. By hitting the bell icon and selecting all notifications, You'll be notified whenever I do posts. So that's also going to be very beneficial. But there is a caveat here. YouTube has a tendency to shadow my account very often. So if you want to kind of stay in the loop and not always be very dependent on YouTube, go into the comments or the description, follow my Blue Sky account and my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you on my behalf. Alright guys, let's go back into this. Well, let's talk about that second channeling. Where is it? Okay, so it says here, this was called Understanding the Nature of Donald Trump's Death, channeled at 1:40 p.m. on May the 20th, 2025. It's called the Happy Death Day series. If you want to go ahead and watch the full series, it's about 10 parts. There's going to be more continuing, but it will be in the description below. You kind of see this here. I'm just going to read the part where I really need to read it, and then we'll move on. Okay, so it says here, let me see. Trump can go out many ways. Actually, let me just read the full thing. It's fine. As many of you have heard about the bizarre nation where Trump supposedly died, his outcome is not fixed, but rather that of which is based on two sole factors: Biden's fate and his willingness to follow the divine order. Power may have gotten to his head, and his soul may not want to let go. But he has to. He has no choice in the matter. If he is not somehow gone within the next 5 days, then expect May 25th to mark the day in which his body breaks down in such a rapid manner that within months he is unrecognizable with his sheer weight loss. We're waiting for that weight loss here. Trump can go out many ways, from planes being shot out of the sky, plane crashes, car crash, assassination, food poisoning, lead poisoning, STD, drug overdose, stress, AIDS, cancer, kidney failure, apnea, which means he died in his sleep. As you see, there are many ways, but most are not natural, but rather self-inflicted or inflicted upon him by the natural order. Trump's death is strange, yet natural. It will feel real, yet fake. A feeling of having to experience it before. That is true because you have. He lives in every timeline, and that is why it feels like he's invincible. But be not of understanding, for that all is connected, and remember we told you about him screwing with time, or you will see how that will affect the way he goes. At times, his death will feel real, but also not, because he will be taken to court by, quote, the impossibles for messing with time. His body may not be the current one, but rather that of an older version of him, replaced by himself, not even a clone, but rather a time capsule copy, one that wasn't supposed to exist, at least exist in this timeline. So essentially what he's saying is just say for example, they took the version of Donald Trump in June and brought it here. That's what it's essentially saying. An older version and brought it here. Technically, it's a younger version in that theory, but when you talk about it in the concept of it already happened, it's older. So therefore, they take the older person and bring it to the future. All right. Replaced by himself, not even a clone, but rather a time capsule copy, one that wasn't supposed to exist. If Trump doesn't follow his sole purpose on May 25th, 2025, they'll be coming to take him away by any means necessary. But he has 5 days to hold up his end of the bargain, or, quote, the impossible will seize him. The end of channel at 2:09 Eastern Standard Time on May the 20th, 2025. This was the second channel again on May 20th. What I have thought since, or what I've gotten, is that as things start to unfold, the things around us start to become more clearer, I start to understand that the impossible, even though they are appearing as people from the future, they are not extraterrestrial, despite them talking to us as if they were. And this is the next channel and that comes after. There's multiple parts, but I'm just reading you the part that you really need to know. It says here, We're the Impossible, channeled at 2:16 p.m. on May the 20th, 2025. It says here, Hi, greetings, Earthlings. We come to inform you of a bizarre phenomenon happening not only within our galaxy, but across time as well. Therefore, our teams of highly classified and trained individuals were designed to meet this very moment that we are currently experiencing now. We may appear to be extraterrestrial, but we are anything but that. Instead, we are closely working with the angelic realm. To solve the timeline crisis, what we have done, we restored the original with minor changes. Trump's uncle played a role here, but in order for the new timeline to work, he must go missing. But that failed because Trump still managed to have the ingredient to mess with time. So we restored everything back as we said, with Trump's history still intact. No matter what we did to resolve the order prior to the Trump receiving time-sensitive matter, they always managed to in every timeline and never for good. So it's been decided by counsel to have him arrested and charged for attempt to alter time. The reason for his own mother's manic episode is a direct side effect of screwing with time. It's interesting how simple time truly is when you do away with the man-made nonsense. But anyway, we wanted to reach out to you guys to let you know you're going to start to see weird, unexplainable things. But that is just us. Trump and his regime may say it's an alien attack in a last attempt to get away with it. So that is why we plan to take him near his death day. Which is why for a moment it will feel fake. But it's not. Just a younger version taking his place as the older one gets put on trial. You will see a lot more of us after Trump. But we will wink on TV so you know it's us. Hopefully you'll remember. Be of light with the light always, the impossible. The end of channel at 3:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at May the 20th, 2025. Okay, a lot of things had already happened that already talked about in both of these channels. There's even other things as well, like the rise of an independent and talking about how there's going to be a scandal that's going to come out about an island. Jeffrey Epstein. The reason for what I do with the Happy Death Day series, it talks about the story leading up to Donald Trump's eventual death and beyond. On this YouTube channel, we connect everything. I just don't tell you and do a reading and just tell you that the answer and that's it. No, I connect it to the whole larger story. Again, this is Celestial Chris Tarot. Celestial means the universe. Everything is all connected. So every episode, every video that I do, in order, in sequence, flows into the next as a story. Think of it like a giant spider web. It's all connected. It may not appear to be connected, but it's part of a larger story. And here on the channel, I tell you the story. Alright, let's ask the question. I'm sure you guys don't want to listen to that. So let's go ahead and let's ask the question. Did Donald Trump get resurrected? And if you guys want to go ahead and watch my Angel of Death video, where I talk to the Angel of Death directly, and very, very highly informative video, go check that video out if you haven't already. Okay, so the first card that comes out is the Tower card reverse. We're asking, did Donald Trump get resurrected? Did Donald Trump get resurrected? Did Donald Trump get resurrected from the dead? Or did Donald Trump get stuck in a coma? What's the situation here? What's going on? What happened to Donald Trump within the past 2 weeks in terms of his health and his energy? What happened to Donald Trump? Okay, so 3 cards came out. Okay, let's see. Should we use the body deck? I'm not feeling the body deck. I'm not feeling it. There's something here that's telling me I don't need it. We have the Ace of Swords reversed. The Ace of Swords reversed normally means to me taking the sword and shoving it through the incumbent, or shoving it through what's in control, what's in power. This would be the brain. This would be the activity. So in order to be declared dead, your brain needs to be stopped. It needs to stop functioning altogether. It needs to be in a vegetative state. That's what the Ace of Swords would be when it's upright. But it's reversed. It's not indicating a vegetative state. Remember how I said this is going to be a lot more complex than we think? This is what I think it means. Because we have the Tower card in reverse, which indicates something is underway, something is coming, but it hasn't happened yet. So maybe, just maybe, and hear me out here, maybe what we've been getting isn't the fact that Donald Trump didn't have this stuff happen, but because maybe all of us time travel to an energetic future or an outcome where it did happen. So remember, for example, I did a trying to come up with a great example to really describe what's really going on here. What is something that happened that your body was off by a couple of years? Okay, so I did a video not too long ago. Specifically, I did astrology for the first time. I talked about the astrology. I gave my psychic intuition around with it, and I coupled it all together. What I have found consistently that the astrology and the psychic channeling that I included together was accurate, but it was off by 30 to 60 days. There's been times where I post a video and it happened within hours, within minutes of that video being posted. Sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes days. I even posted a video back in December 31st, 2020, talking about January 6th and how there's going to be a massive uprising and how they're going to try to hang Mike Pence, or a Republican at that point. And so, lo and behold, it happened. So possibly, maybe, when we start to look at what is really going on here, it's very possible that we didn't tap into the now. We tapped into the future. Because like the channel said before, we already experienced it before in another timeline. What if Donald Trump did die and we were reading and the energy was so strong, so relevant, that it was hard for the tarot cards to discern, because you are living in multiple different realities, and so was Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump lives in every reality. But all of us, we don't live in every reality, but Donald Trump exists in all realities. Why? Because he has a sole purpose that he needs to play in every outcome to bring forward the age of Aquarius. Whether that represents a surveillance state or whether that represents freedom for the people. That is based off of the collective and what the collective wants. But regardless, Donald Trump is going to usher that age in, whether we like that or not. He is that chaos change. He is that person who brings and ushers that stuff in. And going back into his health and acting, whether or not Donald Trump was resurrected, it feels like something gets unhidden about a tower moment, where something gets exposed. I'm seeing if Donald Trump was to go through this type of problem, it's going to be seen by people. People are going to see this in real time. And here you have the Ace of Pentacles. This means a transition. So did Donald Trump get resurrected? We have here the Ace of Swords card reversed indicates that it's not a vegetative state, which would make sense, because if he was in a vegetative state, he's too far gone. You can't come back from a vegetative state. But if you're in a coma, that's different. And this is why the Tower card is reversed, because it doesn't mean the body was not functioning. This could be indicating life support. The Tower card reversed and the Moon card reversed can indicate in life support. That's very possible. And here's the Ace of Pentacles. Give it another chance, another opportunity. And remember how I said many times, Donald Trump, with his wealth, can buy so many times to delay death, but eventually money cannot buy death forever. You can never outrun death. Death will take you. But you have the luxury and the choice and the freedom to delay the death process. You can delay it. Donald Trump would have been dead if he didn't have money. If he wasn't rich, he would have been dead by now. But he was rich. He had the ability. And I said this before in the other video. Donald Trump is the President of the United States. Therefore, he's automatically given the ability to have access to the top line health officials and doctors and surgeons and all those things. We don't get that. Even if you pay into the top best insurance in the world, in the country really, you're still not going to get that level of support. You're still not going to get that level of help. Donald Trump is a billionaire. At least we know of. That's what we know. Doesn't mean that's true. But Donald Trump has money, and money can buy a lot of things. The presidency, having the name as president, can buy you a lot of things. It can get you a lot of things. It can get you top of the line. Being president delays the inevitable, and that is death. And what's the bottom of the card here? We have the bottom of the card. This means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 of Wands. What does this mean? It means things getting uprooted. What's getting uprooted? Eventually his health. He won't be able to outrun this forever. This is the Five of Pentacles. He won't be able to outrun this. What is he trying to walk away from? His ability to feel like he can be young again. Age is catching up to him. This is going to be one of his downfalls. Age is going to be one of his downfalls. The top of the deck is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords comes in as surgery. I'm getting surgery very strongly here. And this is the Queen of Swords. Surgery. And what's in front of her? We have here the Seven of Pentacles. I wonder if he had tumors or some sort of blockage. But there does seem to be surgery. Does seem to be surgery. Alright, so. Oh, look what just came out. The Death card just flew out. The Death card, okay. So, Spirit Angel, tell me, did Donald Trump get resurrected? If so, did he die and come back to life? If that's the case, show me the Death card again. Show me the Death card if Donald Trump got resurrected. Or came back to life, or... We have the World's card in reverse, upside down. The Ace of Cups reverse. The Five of Cups. The bottom deck, we have new leader, Page of Wands. We did have an acting president. On the top of the deck here, we have the Knight of Wands. I don't see death here. So it's definitely not what do you call it? A resurrection. He wasn't brought back to life. Because he wasn't in a vegetative state. So I don't think he was in a coma. I don't see it. Where is the Death card? Where is that Death card? It's not even in the deck. Oh, here it is. The Queen of Swords, and it's right next to surgery. Okay. Interesting. Let me use my Kipper deck. Let me use my Kipper deck. This has the Death card in it. Let's see. Did Donald Trump get resurrected? Spirit and Angel, did Donald Trump get resurrected? Maybe using the word resurrected might be the wrong terminology here to be using. Okay, so we have high honor. Did Donald Trump get brought back to life? Did he die at some point and then come back? Was he under surgery? Maybe, possibly, maybe, just hear me out here. Maybe Donald Trump did not die, but maybe he's just been under because he's under anesthesia. That could be what that is. Anesthesia could actually stop the energetic movements of your body, and can actually, anesthesia, believe it or not, can actually levitate the soul out of the body. That's something that I just realized, oh, because it did indicate surgery, and that would do it, because it didn't say he was in a vegetative state, did not say he was in a coma. So it's very possible he was under surgery. So I'm going to act that right after this. But did Donald Trump get resurrected from the dead? Did Donald Trump get resurrected from the dead? Show me a coffin if the case. The child's here. Did Donald Trump get resurrected from the dead? Okay. So it doesn't look like he did. No, a message of, okay, so the message of concern on the top of the deck, and it's a jurisdiction. So tell me here that he's being judged. He's going to be going to that house soon. He's going to get judged soon. There's this foundation. His foundation is false. So what went on was false. Something very weird about what went on behind the scenes in terms of his health, whether or not Donald Trump was resurrected. Something is weird. So we have to hear the message of concern and jurisdiction. Something is out of order. That's what I'm being told. Something is out of order. But we have the World's card reversed. This means upside down. This is kind of giving me like dark energy, giving me like black magic, giving me like witchcraft. It's giving me like hell. It's the opposite of what Earth is. It's the opposite of harmony. This is disharmony. Underneath here, the next card that comes in, we have the reversed Ace of Cups. We're asking, did he get resurrected? That's the question that we're asking. This is the Ace of Cups. It's not giving me an answer. It's not giving me an answer. It's saying it's not what you think. And that card is the Five of Cups. The verse, it doesn't indicate death. Normally, this is my funeral card. This is the Five of Cups. The verse is saying no. Does Donald Trump get resurrected? No, because maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe that's the wrong way that we're looking at it. Maybe you have to look at it from a different perspective. So we're going to act and see if Donald Trump got surgery in a minute. Underneath the world card reversed, upside down, witchcraft, dark magic, black magic, hell, those type of things. We have high honor, disarray, right? This is what the high honor is reversed. Ironically, it takes place in the year 2025, but we have high honor reversed. It means disharmony. Underneath this Ace of Cups reversed, which indicates to us blessing and good fortune and happiness, this is giving me no information. Why is it giving me no information? Because he needs to get punished before he can go. Someone's punishing him. He's going to have to see his mother. His mother's coming in here very strongly. And I'm also getting the facts as well that he's also going to get criticized for using his mother as a justification for what he did on Epstein Island. Again, this video is just for entertainment, for educational purposes only as well. Now, if you all may have remembered in the past, I have spoken about how the Epstein files could be a little bit worse than what you would think. At first, you'll be like, okay, well, it's going to be just like him raping girls and blah, blah, blah. No, it's going to be a lot worse than that. This is also dark magic, black magic. I also saw satanic cult. You all know about these missing children and people were going missing, these cases. I said in one of my Epstein videos that they were going to get solved once everything gets released. Once people start to realize what really happened. And that's how bad it is. It wasn't just a justification for what they did to those women and girls, and there's no way that I am degrading them. I'm not. But I'm saying, what could possibly be worse than what we already know commonly? I think what would be 100 times worse is the justification for those type of motives of using people in satanic cult, rituals, all those type of things. Donald Trump would be no different. I'm seeing one older woman and a child here. This is playing a role in his health. There's something here about what he did on that island that is indicating health. Whether this is helping him health-wise and making him last longer than he should, or it's to actually hinder him. It's going to hinder him. Either way, it's saying that he did something on that island, either to his benefit in terms of his health, or to the detriment of his health. Obviously, what you would think would be like, okay, so if it's going to be to the detriment, obviously you're not going to do it, so obviously you're going to do it to his benefit. So, let's just put the two together. Donald Trump is probably going to do something on the island with these women and girls, or boys, right, to the benefit of his own health. There's going to be something here, and that's what comes in very rapidly. There's not going to be a lot of blessings. We're asking about resurrection. It's not saying there's going to be resurrection here. But it is indicating that something in terms of what he did with these times in the Epstein files and Epstein days is going to come to light. I'm also getting as well to take the number 6 and minus it from 18. Let's do that. Let's add 18. Let's do 18 minus 6. That put us in 2012. Okay. And then let's do 18 plus 6. That put us in 2024. Just for reference, that's the time frame that you're looking at. 2012 to 2016. Something around there is going to be what he did. He participated in something. And that could really indicate why he was as powerful as he is. And it's not because of the people that he's around, but rather it's the people in the fourth dimensional plane that he works with. Underneath this 5 of Cups, we have the pathway card. We asked about resurrection. This is not saying that if Donald Trump was to die, remember one thing, Donald Trump cannot get resurrected. He cannot be brought back from the dead. Why? Because Spirit will block him from doing so. They have already said multiple times that once Donald Trump passes, they're not letting him go back because he poses an existential threat. Donald Trump can delay death, absolutely. He can delay it with money, but eventually death will catch up, but money will have his power weaken over time. So, can can we answer the question? Yes, we can answer the question. Did Donald Trump get resurrected from the dead back into being alive, or saying that they just shock him in the heart or whatever? Doesn't really matter how they do it. Did he get resurrected? The answer is no. No. Because if he was to pass over and were to levitate completely out of his body, the spirit world is done. They're done with him. They're actually pissed off at him, and I know that for a fact. They see him as supernatural. They don't see him as human. They see him as supernatural. They see him as a threat to the spiritual world and humanity. They see him as a threat. Donald Trump is a threat. Remember that. He's a threat to the spiritual world, to the order of the natural order of things. He's been messing with timelines. Let's keep that in mind. All right, so with that said, let's take a look at did Donald Trump get surgery? Let's ask that question. Did Donald Trump get surgery, spirits and angels? Did Donald Trump get surgery? And is that, yeah, did Donald Trump get surgery, and was he under anesthesia? Did Donald Trump get surgery, and was he under anesthesia? You had nine of swords, King of Wands reverse. We have good times, healing. Okay. Was Donald Trump ever under anesthesia? Was Donald Trump ever under anesthesia at any point? Okay. Was Donald Trump under anesthesia or under surgery at any point in time during the past 2 weeks? Was Donald Trump under anesthesia or surgery? We do have bad health card in here, and that would indicate surgery, but I don't see a card for that. We do have an unofficial person. So an unofficial person doing work in labor. So unofficial person doing work in labor. Top of the deck is about the journey. We're asking about whether or not Donald Trump was under anesthesia and under surgery. We do also get as well the bottom of the deck indicates the foundation. And this is the mature female. The mature female comes again. And another female. So there is a foundation here. Something's being changed. Something's being challenged. And it's his masculine side that's very imbalanced. Okay, so let's ask the question here. We have the Nine of Swords reversed. The Nine of Swords reversed is indicated to me this is somebody on on the hospital bed, right? This is someone who's been receiving bad news. It's also giving me no. This is not somebody in the hospital bed for surgery. So there's something else here that happened that wasn't surgery. It wasn't resurrection. It has to be something else. Something else. What could it be? What could it be? I'm getting possibly it could be like an MRI or a CAT scan that can do that. Something that messes with energy. If you guys know what that could possibly be, something that messes, maybe it could be a fibrillator. Like one of those things, something messing with the rhythm of something. And that's why we couldn't detect him, because the rhythm is different. We have the King of Wands reversed. He was definitely under. This is definitely telling me he was under. So possibly maybe it is surgery. This is reversed. This is telling me under. The hospital bed under. Okay. Good news. It's been removed. Good news. Something's been removed. And here is the Ten of Pentacles. This is family history. This is family health. So whatever was removed from Donald Trump's health, he had before in his past family lineages. This was passed down through generations. This is what it feels like. Because the cross between the Nine of Swords and the King of Wands reverse, Donald Trump being under, and the Nine of Swords indicating to me that, Yeah, it's indicating something being under, right? Obviously, this is what the King of Wands reversed. I got a little distracted by the puppy. I apologize. And the Nine of Swords is indicating that something. I don't know what it means. My brain just lost its stuff. I'm going to catch on in a minute. But it's being challenged by the Chariot. And the Chariot means ambulance, being rushed somewhere. This is, as you guys know, if you've been with me for a while, you will know the Chariot card symbolizes the ambulance. Right? That is why this Nine of Swords card comes in, and the King of Wands reverse card comes in as well. So there is something being rushed somewhere. Maybe this could be indicating that something else was underway. So I guess I'm going to ask in a question in a second, did Donald Trump get electrical shock? Maybe that could be what it is. Maybe he just got electrocuted. The two cards that fell on top of the Chariot, which is the Nine of Swords, the King of Wands reversed, and the Chariot challenging in the future. We have thoughts. A female comes in again, so there's some thoughts about this female, and this reverse 9. This 9 card reversed, which indicates change. So there's a thought of change coming. So possibly sometime in the future, it's saying that this might have happened before, but it might have been a mini episode of whatever it is that happened. But in the future sense, he's going to start thinking and start saying more things that's going to be more along the lines of like, oh, I wish I can get to heaven and all these type of things. So kind of keep in mind that that is kind of like where we are, and that's what Donald Trump is going to find himself in this position sometime in the future with the Chariot card. So that is what this card represents here, is the change, and he's going to be having change on his mind about the future, what's coming, whether or not he feels like he can get away with that. That's the thing. That's where you want. Donald Trump wants to die. Let me just be honest with you. Donald Trump wants to die because if Donald Trump dies, he's the only person ever in the world to ever be held accountable for anything. Donald Trump wants to die, literally, because it will benefit him beyond the grave. It will hinder everybody else. By wanting him to stay here, eventually, over time, accountability would catch up. I know that's hard to hear, I know that's hard to say, but accountability will catch up eventually. And even though something's being removed, which is this Ten of Cups, this removal is just happy times, great things, you know. Something's been removed. What is challenging this? Well, for the first card we got here is the Queen of Pentacles. This is a promise that, oh, maybe it's been removed, but it may come back. So whatever that happened that was removed with the Ten of Cups is saying it's not forever. It can come back. It can make a comeback. And that is why it comes in this way, because it's something that happened in the family. Whatever the family health is, something can come back. And here is the next card. It was come Page of Swords. You came in as you're looking younger. You feel fresh. You feel new. That is why people couldn't figure out who Donald Trump is anymore, because that thing that was being formulated, this health element that was inside his body, was changing the frequency of the body. And once it was removed, the body restored itself back to its original frequency. And here you have is the Three of Cups reverse. The Three of Cups reverse is that this was not a celebration for him. He did not want this. He actually wanted and hoped for him to die on the operating table, if that's what it was indicating. But it does appear, as I start to read, that he was under anesthesia, was under surgery. At first, it didn't appear that way. But as you start to read the story, it starts to make sense. This is the Three of Cups reverse. It's being also challenged underneath the Ten of Cups and family lineages. We have the Page of Pentacles, another opportunity. But this time, you may not get so lucky. And this is just what Spirit is saying. You may not get lucky the next time. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Swords reversed. And 8 of Swords reversed is clearly telling me, because it is the 8 of Swords, that this is not going to be mental. This is something else. I feel like there is something that has to be removed, like a clump or maybe a kidney. Something is being removed that alters the frequency of the body. But you may not get always so lucky with that, because it may come back. And here you have is the mature man. This is reversed. It's saying that the mature man is upside down. The mature male, his age, can bring him down. And what are the two cards that's on the right side that we don't know what they are yet? Well, the card that comes in is, oh, we do know what they are. Okay. It's the unofficial person and toil and labor. Somebody's behind the scenes working. Someone's working hard behind the scenes. I just want to see this hypothetically. Did he get poisoned? Just out of curiosity here. I just want to read on that. And if he is, I'm going to read in a separate video about possibly Donald Trump getting poisoned. just out of happenstance, because poison can actually levitate your body, and maybe that's why Donald Trump was rushed to the hospital. Was Donald Trump poisoned, Spirit Angels? Was Donald Trump poisoned? Was Donald Trump poisoned possibly by J.D. Vance? Okay, we have Temperance, Tower card, Page of Sword, okay, Clarifier. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Okay. And was Donald Trump under any sort of electrical shock? We have under, down under. So I wonder if maybe Donald Trump was under electrical shock. Maybe whatever poison this was, if Donald Trump was to be poisoned, if Donald Trump was to be poisoned, this is the hypothetical here, right? It is just for entertainment, for educational purposes only. But God forbid Donald Trump was to be poisoned and find himself in a situation where he's to be poisoned, this could cause a cardiac arrest. And that could explain maybe possibly him getting electrocuted and having to go under surgery, and then the car is saying it can come back again. Because maybe the thing that needed to be removed was maybe the poison or the blocker. Maybe he choked on something and had a little bit of swelling in it. I don't know, but there's some sort of poison here, or maybe some sort of allergy or allergic reactivity to something. And just very possible that it could come back, because maybe the one who's doing it is with him all along. Because remember, there are people in the White House who have motive. It could be Melania Trump and the will, if there's any money left. It could be, Netanyahu. It could be Peter Thiel. It could be J.D. Vance, Elon Musk. There's a whole bunch of people with clear motives for why they will want to do this. There's clear motive. The thing is, what do you think? It's like the game of Clue at this point. Who's the one who did it? Because the next card that comes in, and when we're asking about whether or not, just hypothetically, did Donald Trump get poisoned, we have the Temperance card here. This is the first thing that indicates mixing of drinks. Mixing of one liquid to another in a cup. This is like bartender vibes, right? The next card that comes in is the Tower card. Striking. Move head on nose. Striking the king. The crown has fallen. And here you come in at the Page of Swords. You thought you got away. You thought you slayed. You thought you slayed. But instead, we asked for a clarifier on the entire reading, and the card that came up was the Devil card. Bad intention. Control an outcome. This is the Devil card, and it falls right on top of the Tower card. That tells us that either J.D. Vance already did it, or he's attempting to do it and trying to figure out what is the best way to knock out Trump. This is for entertainment purposes only. Remember, Donald Trump has a lot to lose. J.D. Vance has a lot to gain. And there's a lot of motive here for this. We have here as well as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 a wand. This is headed in the past. Victories in the past. We asked about whether or not Donald Trump was under any sort of electrocution, any sort of re-jolting of energy, right? This is the 6 of wand reverse. This is the challenge to the reading. Because we have the Page of Pentacles. This is the opportunity. This is not an opportunity. Nobody just thinks about wanting an opportunity to get electrocuted. This is not an opportunity, obviously. But the next card that comes in is the King of Wands reverse. And the King of Wands reverse is indicating somebody's under something. Somebody's under an influence, under the amount of electricity. Something is working against something. And here you have is the Moon card reverse. Because if you look at these two towers, right, they look very similar. If you were to hold it, right, let me just say I hold this side and this side. Let me just show you. So you can see, let's say my 2 fingers are holding this metal, I guess not metal, but I guess 2 towers with the 2 black dots on the top. They look like, these 2 little dots here, these yellow little dots, look like electric, right? Electric energy. And here, they look like something that you could shock somebody with. But it's reverse. We're asking about electrocution. This had nothing to do about resetting the heart. I wonder if this means that Donald Trump's electrical system was it was at a very calm state. It wasn't firing. Maybe this also indicates to us that maybe neurologically, his brain wasn't firing messages through energy. There was a lack of energy. There could be a lack of fat in the brain. But that's what this indicates. Could it lack a lack of opportunity to want to get electrocuted, but you're down under, and you're being challenged by the reverse six of wands, and here you have it, the moon card of reverse. Electrocution, but in reverse. Electrocution in reverse. Hold on, let's see. Electrocution in reverse. Did Donald Trump get electrocuted? Show me a card that represents Donald Trump. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups reversed. This is FEMA. This is natural disaster. We have the 9 of Cups, which means community service. And we have the Death card in reverse. I'm going to say no. So we have the 4 of Wands reversed, resistance. And we have the Sun card. It's saying no. Now, Donald Trump did not get electrocuted. Even though I said that earlier, I do take that back. I don't think he got electrocuted. I do think, if anything, he may have gotten poisoned. And he may have had to get that removed from his body because it's bad, and it may have messed with his electrical current or impulses in his body, possibly shutting down and doing some damage to the heart. But it doesn't feel like it was directly a cardiac arrest. It may have been caused, the poison may have caused the cardiac arrest, but it's not necessarily a heart attack. It was just a cardiac arrest. Even though it is the same thing, it's not natural. It didn't just happen out of the blue. It happened because as a cause and effect of something else. I hope that makes a little bit more sense. We are going to use my index cards just to kind of see what else Spirit has to say, and then we'll end today's video. If you guys are familiar with this, the way these cards work is that when these cards have a color on it, it means it's major arcana. If it's white, that means that it's minor arcana. And only the words on one way, I don't see the other side. So I'm going to shuffle this for a minute, and then we're going to ask Harold the question, so you guys can actually see. Okay, Spirit Angels tell me about Donald Trump the past 2 weeks in regards to his health and the national order of things. What happened to Donald Trump? What happened to Donald Trump? Okay, I feel like this is good. Okay, so I'm getting told to get a pink. With this one. They're telling me the one in front of it, so this one they want. Okay. They're telling me a yellow. Is this the yellow? Yep. They're telling me this white. And any aqua or dark blue. They're telling me dark blue. Is this the one? They're telling me this is all that I need. Let's flip the card. Let's see what this means. The last time we did this, it talked about LA and Los Angeles, and that's when Donald Trump did the National Guards. Alright, so the first card that comes in is change in reverse. Change in reverse. Pink means I understand, or root chakra, which means I am. I am change, or I understand change. This is reverse. It hasn't happened yet. So I feel like this is coming. So it's also talking about what happened in the past, but also what's coming in the future. It's like a mix. It's a very weird way of explaining it. We have here innocence. So somebody's guilty. So someone did something. This is I do. This is the solar plexus. Means I do. It's reversed. I am guilty. So you just have to have faith in something. This is the white card, which means the aura. Right? This means the overall aura. Faith, mind, body, spirit. Underneath the innocent card, we have depression. This means blue, which means I communicate sadness. So, what does this mean? Well, we have the change card in reverse, which means I understand and I am change, but I am not change. I cannot understand change. I am not innocent, because I did something that made me guilty, I have faith in it, and I express sadness and condolence. Which means somebody who did something did this despite them knowing they have guilt about it. They have guilt about it. They feel guilty about this. Somebody did something. Somebody did something and they wanted a change, did not receive the change. Now they're afraid that people might realize or might investigate that they were guilty in the matter and causing the faith of Donald Trump to be tarnished. When I say faith, I mean death. And here you have is depression. They're afraid that either they're going to get caught or they feel guilty that they're going to get caught. Either way, somebody did something. What is the bottom deck here? We have the voice in reverse. The voice in reverse. There's a split comment. This person is in unity. So this person is an ally or a friend or a frenemy of Trump. So this is a friend. And here on the top deck, we have here collapse. So eventually, it will get to a point of collapse. But it doesn't feel like this person is regretful of doing this. They feel guilty or sad that they could get caught. I think this is what it comes down to. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's very hard because right now we're in the period of right now trying to break down what truly happened. Because it is so complex, so hard to really narrow it down. But at least we kind of get to the point where we understand that possibly it could be a poison type situation. If you guys can help guide me a little bit, direct me, maybe it could be a situation. What could really bring the soul and the spirit and the energy to a halt temporarily to get a whole group of people who think that he was dead. Let's break this out. Let's break the code. Let's figure this out. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. I love you. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.